Mickelson, fourth on the road. Starting this one 1.3 seconds down, but ended it 15.4 down on the leader, losing one spot. He said he wanted to attack, but also finish the rally because he's fighting for the IRC title generally and really needs points to stay at top. That's what points bring him. Well, fourth after the opening short one, Brian Bouffier was busy here. Sixth only though, 14.9 down, losing a couple of spots. Had some difficulties finding a good rhythm, he said, as the opener. Looked quick though. Wonderful shots here. And what about Guy Wilkes? Well, after coming straight out of the box and taking the short one, it was a big ask to do the same on the second. Seventh indeed, and 12.9 off the leader. Loses 4 positions overall, ended at fifth. And yeah, once again, movement of the car underneath him at high speed. So he's just trying to sort that out. Trouble is that every time he makes changes, it generally tends to get worse before it gets better. So it's a sort of a slow learning process really in terms of setup. But we know Guy's quick, and when he does have the setup, he's absolutely unbeatable. Fingers crossed for him then. Hannon, second on the road. Finished this one in fourth place, just 2.7 down on the stage. Lose a couple of positions though, to fourth overall, but only 2 seconds off the lead. Said he's extremely confident. Now that coming from Hammerman, who doesn't usually big himself up. Yes, woe betide anybody. And you want confident? Very confident for this rally. Freddie Loix has found his rhythm and said he's got a good feeling with the car. Clever stuff with the pace notes, we mentioned that earlier. He recorded the first loop and then during the service part they sat down and put their heads together and altered their notes. Adaptability, that's what it's all about. Maybe an old head, but maybe they're young shoulders, if you see what I mean. Finishes this one just 0.2 down, third spot, moving in 5 places overall in only the second loop. Fabulous by Freddie. Neuville then 10th on the road, 1.3 off the leader here. Third place on this second special. His reaction after the stage, too much oversteer, he said. Each time he was well placed in the ranking. Ill fortune seems to beckon though, doesn't it? Remember Scotland crashed in 2010, just pushing a little bit too hard. It was a nightmare right at the very end of the stage live, I remember. Mechanical problems in Monte Carlo as well. Young and impulsive, sometimes just pushing too hard. Jan Kopecki, always a performer. Good work comes to him. Moving up from 5th to the provisional lead here on the second stage. After the stage, he said he didn't push too hard because he wanted to save his tyres, so made everyone feel even worse. Won the Canárias in 2010. It was his only victory in 2010, incidentally, and looking to go better this time. Kopecki then, the man in the driving seat. We'll take a break and be back with more and more problems, as you can see. In just a few moments' time. Stay with us. Welcome back. Clouds rolling in, as you can see. Many of the drivers said they just had to ease up because it was getting a little bit dangerous as visibility started to just ebb away from them out there. Giandomenico Basso, first competitive outing for Proton. Not totally happy. Still some changes to be made, he says.
I've
done these 2 stages, first stage as well, and we've got to make some changes to improve the car. The third stage was, well, even if we took some risks, our biggest problem is understeer. We ran slowly, and we can drive faster. The problems comes from the rear. With the team, I know we're trying to find a solution, and well, we're just in a bit of a race at the moment to get the information and just know exactly what course we've got to follow here. Looking for the solution is what we are about right now, he says, and yeah, we'll just see how we go after we make those changes. Not so happy with his performance, Brian Bouffier, incidentally. out there. We'll see him in a moment. Giandomenico Basso then in trouble on the day, as you've heard. It was the same for Peggy Anderson, incidentally, who a little bit later on was holding up Guy Wilkes, as I'm sure we're about to see. So, to Bouffier, sorry about that, not too happy with his performance. It was hard compound, he says, and maybe a bad choice of tyre. Yeah, I'm not very confident, he says. Haven't been since the beginning. Maybe it's me. Maybe we've got to change the car. There's honest for you. The rally is long, and we've got a big fight in front of us, and you know, we've got to make sure that we get things sorted out before then. I just hope that we can catch the big names out there. Also saying he hoped for a little bit of rain and perhaps to mix up the results a little bit. Frenchman happier in the second run, the second loop today. The car felt, he said, that it was coming to him. Still in the battle with Mikkelsen after stage 6. Same gap as before. What about Mikkelsen then? Bouffier 7th overall. Bouffier, well, that fog made things a little bit slippery. It settled on the brand new tarmac. You've seen this ribbon of asphalt that they've got here, and yeah, you can also see as well it's very, very newly laid, and that's, well, if you do get a little bit of moisture there, it does tend to draw out some of the oil in the surface. And yeah, wanted to bring home points, he said, and said that he hoped that this would be easier than last time. Maybe taking it easy after that Monte Carlo crash out, who knows. Guy Wilkes looking very good. But not overly done.
Unfortunately, the second stage we lost a little bit too much time. First stage, the go-kart track, we just drove it neat and tidy, and okay, we were pushing. But the second stage, we tried to do the same, and unfortunately, the car and myself just weren't quite working together. We made some changes to the damper after stage 2 for stage 3, and it worked. So yeah, I think that hopefully we can push harder through stage 4 and 5 and 6 now.
Well, pushing hard is what Guy can do. Once he feels confident with the car, he really does exactly that. Precise and clean. This is a technical rally, and one that might well suit him as it develops. He's 5th overall at the moment after 6 stages. Don't forget, they're going into the night. We'll have action from that for you tomorrow. And they will be finishing around about 1 in the morning, which means that they get very little sleep, about 5-6 hours really maximum. So what about Johanan then? In the Skoda as well.
I can push harder, but I'm coming to the service. That what I don't know, but we will see. It's not so much to space anymore, but we will see.
Fastest on 6. Halanen says he's taking it easy, not pushing too hard. Really, that is scary for everybody. If that's not pushing hard, I do not know what is. Says there's no place for mistakes here. 4th overall after 6. What about Thierry Neuville? 2 spares in the first loop. He ditched one of those for the second loop.
It was a really good start for us. The car is working very well. Nicolas and me, we did also a good job. Also in the recce, the pace notes are very good. Now we have to look forward, don't do mistakes, and we try to stay on the road and to push, to continue to push like this.
Well, pushing is also what he does. Weather started to close in towards the end of the stage, and that fog really did upset him in particular. So it was too dangerous on the road to continue at the pace he'd been setting himself. At steady pace, though, means he loses a position and is 3rd overall after 6. Just 1 second off Loix. So what about Freddie? Well, he said the opening special of the day was just too short to mean anything. Prefers the longer stages, and of course doesn't mind it a bit damp. He is Belgian after all.
And my decision is that I have to go quicker and try to be somewhere on the first or the second stage place when I come back.
So not holding anything back. It's what Freddie's about. That's why he's just so popular with the fans. As you can see, that's him getting held up on special stage 6 behind Peggy Anderson, who got himself a puncture. That's a real problem. It wasn't the only one of the day for him either. What about Jan Kopecki going well the Czech?
Yes, you know, because I thought that it will be much worse, but the tire wear, there is no any problem with that, so it seems that maybe we can start to push a bit more.
Well, they are. Don't hold anything back, my friends. Made quite a lot of changes to the pace notes for the second run. Maintains the lead. Yes, Freddie is 3.1 seconds behind Kopecki. It's all about the Skodas at the moment. Was it ever not thus? So an interesting end to the daylight section of the opening day. still the night runs to happen. And as I said, tomorrow's highlights will have some action from that for you, as well as the main body of tomorrow. Kibetskid leading Loix by that margin we've already mentioned. Neuville in third place. Bouffier down in 7th, 31 off the pace after this stage 6 of this rally. In the two-wheel drive cup, Johan Vinjes took the lead in the opening stage and just hasn't let it go. He's been holding that position right from the very start and looking good. Gorka Antzaustegi, moving up from 5th to 3rd place on special 2, and then on stage 3, one position more to take 2nd overall and keep it until the end of loop 2. Moreno also looking good in the Honda. Yes, if it wasn't for Inzausti, he would be in that 2nd place, but just bumped down into 3rd. Jose Barrios in the Subaru. Well, he started well. In fact, he was only 1 second off Harry Hunt in the two-wheel drive category. So running in 17th place. Keeping advancing is what he is out to do. Gustavo Souza finishing early on, 16.9 off the lead only in his Rally Art machine, but on 2 sadly crashed and was unable to restart due to the damage. So day 1 extremely interesting. All the top drivers are here fighting for that final victory, and well, will the weather get in the way? Will it be mechanical, or will it just be skill that wins out in the end? There's always a bit of a mix, especially in a place like this. One thing is for sure, the crowds have turned out in abundance here and they're being royally entertained by some of the best drivers on the planet. Hope to have your company for day 2 tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye bye.